Kilpailussa mukana Ramirent. Kotikatsomon eväät tarjoaa Kotipizza.
What is up, everyone, and welcome to the Round 1 Back 9 here in Kuopio, Finland, at the fourth stop of the Prodigy Disc Pro Tour. This coverage is brought to you by Natural Born Disc Golfer. Thank you guys for sharing it with us here at Gatekeeper Media. And this commentary is brought to you by Parked Podcast. My name is Mitch Phillips. Joining me is Hayden Riccard. Talk to me about the front nine.
Front nine saw some low numbers come into play. I mean, you had multiple holes where they were under 300 feet, and someone who took advantage of that was Hänninen.
Yeah, his putter was hot. If you haven't watched the front nine, definitely go back. He was putting on a display, hitting anything within 40. But let's check in with the leaderboard here. Niklas Antila, Tuomas Hyttinen, -5, really setting the pace to maybe jump into double digits.
Yeah, it's looking that way for sure, especially with this back nine. You're going to go from open shots that are going out of the woods, and then you're going to have open shots coming into the woods.
Yeah, multiple holes that really test both ends of the spectrum here on a ball golf course. But let's jump into hole 10. Yeah. Still an open one.
Open one, got a par 3, 351 feet. You're looking dead straight at the basket. Just throwing something soft, trying to land very, very slightly and not kick up and roll.
Yeah, speed control so important. Matching the grade.
I'm pretty sure every hole here, you got to watch your speed.
Yeah, I mean, that's really been the word here in Finland.
The OB is literally right behind it.
Yeah, almost every course we've been able to see this tour. I mean, your speed, your angle, it really comes down to how these courses are designed. The basket placement so important. Your speed coming into it.
Going with the wide forehand is Luukas.
Can't draw it up better than that.
No.
Hitting short, making sure he's hitting on angle. Going to go to the forehand as well. Samuel. Nearly a standstill, really slowing down his run up there.
Just got to sit. Just on the other side, he'll have a look at the basket.
Yeah, similar distance. Teammates there encouraging one another. They're battling.
He knew it was safe. So easy enough, just walk away, look at the birdie putt.
Lauri going with definitely the fastest disc of the group. But putting it the closest
to the sit.
No way.
No. And going OB. And that's what happens when you use a driver.
Well, we've talked about it so much, the speed, and right there he goes with a wider rim disc. I believe that's the OptoX Ballista Pro, and it just gets up and rolls. I mean, easily.
And this one's got to sit.
No way. Sit down.
And again, Lauri getting bad luck.
No way that goes out of bounds.
Curl back in. Curl.
He's safe. I mean, a little bit of a chuckle there, but that's... he hit the sponsor square, as we've come to call it, and going to be outside circle with a long putt for a bogey. Wind picking up just high.
At least it's sat down.
This is really going to be a check for him. I mean, he's sitting at 2 under right now. It's really going to be able to see what his mental game is like and where he's at.
Good birdie putt from Arttu.
Great way to start off the back nine. Had some putting woes early on in the front nine, but really getting into a momentum with that such a distinctive, true hyzer putt.
And another birdie for Samuel. 4 down. Catching back up for sure.
Yeah, it's easy to get hot, string together a lot of birdies on this back nine. But the putter definitely needing to be what continues that. And Lauri going to be losing a lot of strokes to everyone on the card here. I believe this will be 2, if not 3 strokes he's going to lose.
So unfortunate for him to have 2 rolls.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what that can do if you come in hot on these greens.
Yep, going to get the 5 here. And like you said, coming in hot on the greens. But then, I mean, to do it with the fast, wide rim, 13-speed disc, yeah, it makes sense. But then to have it happen again with the putter, just insult to injury. one that you're hoping you're not going to get any injury walking down this fairway. Hole 11,
roll
par
some
3.
ankles.
Yeah, 279 feet. The most technical hole we've played so far. Probably about a 6 to 10 foot gap the entire way. You're going to see a lot of players definitely be throwing a putter here, but there is movement where you can start on the left side of that fairway, under stable disc, and work yourself right, avoiding those trees and settle in to the green. But skips, rollaways, roots, everything
You
could
name
go
it,
wrong.
it can happen.
Yeah. Standstill, definitely the preferred shot here.
Get sneaky.
And it's almost like Luukas Rokkanen was listening to me in his ear, using the left side of the fairway, working it right. That is beauty, setting the standard for the rest of the card.
And this is another great shot. Looking right down at the basket, should be an easy birdie.
Yeah, using that last tree kind of as a backstop, knowing even if they hit it, it's not going to go too far.
Going with the forehand. This is very interesting, but almost able to get down there.
Yeah, had to avoid a lot more. You're bringing a lot more,
Into play,
risk.
for sure.
Yeah. Forehand as well here from Lehtinen. Going to that justice. He likes this big flex shot with this disc. The forehand, you come with a lot of speed, though.
Gotta hit
But using
Gotta hit
that
something.
last tree.
Gotta hit something.
Couldn't even finish the phrase before it hit it perfectly.
I know, right?
You think that's the play? I mean, they're just really trying to hit that tree.
Who knows?
This is where his true hyzer putt is
The
going to
percentage
definitely
that
come
you
in.
know it's going to hit a tree,
Yeah, just laying it up.
and that's a tough layup.
Good putt. And you can see, look at the base of this basket. I mean, this is a permanent position for this hole. And I feel like most of the time when we're playing in the United States, we're finally getting to where there are more of these ball golf courses on tour that are getting these permanent pins, but none of them using the property in this way to get this deep into the woods and crafting the fairway.
No, I mean, you look at the preserve. I mean, that one on an old ball golf course, and I think they're going to make it a little bit different this upcoming year.
Yeah.
Because the distances and you look at the strokes. I mean, it was so far under par.
Yeah, and I like the differences of this. We're going to see this, continue on into the back
It's
nine.
great. It's good transitions between both.
Yeah,
and it's perfect.
We jump right back out.
Yeah. Hole 12, par 4, 725 feet. If you're feeling it, you're probably going to try to run the green. But you got to worry about the OB coming in and snaking in so close and tightening up that fairway up to the green. And, you really just bomb it, and then really there's two ways you can approach. Go for it, or just lay up and be confident as your approach goes in, and then get the par.
And by go
get the
for it,
birdie.
you're not getting to that tiny part of the green, but you're putting it as far as you possibly can.
You're putting it as close as you can to that mouth.
Yeah.
And it's all downhill, so you're going to have more distance.
Full commit here with a D1.
Big hyzer from Rokkanen. Just got to get down, sit, curl, and it doesn't.
Giving him the red flag. Wow. He has a distance. He's put it on display a lot, but I don't even think he thought that was even a chance.
It's hard to see down there.
Yeah. A little bit of a higher play, more angle. After watching go out of bounds. Huge skip.
What is that skip? And
No out of bounds on the left.
Yeah, you can play into that woods over there, but if you go too far,
Right.
you're going to be cut off from looking at the green.
A lot higher approach here. Nearly ending the life of the
That was
spotter
pretty
there.
close.
But spiking into the left side, going to have a step out to be able to go into the green.
A little bit too much turn. This is going to ride all the way out OB. I wonder if anybody actually tried to go for it with the big
If that had more height, I mean, that definitely had the distance, but
Yeah,
it's one of those things, like, it's probably doable. Is it worth it? No.
probably not. The chances of you getting it every time.
Yeah, because even if you do, you come all the way back here, and now you're left with a really scary approach. Oh, it's got to hook up.
I think it does. Yeah.
Great shot there.
Great
Still
recovery.
with a look to save par. As we expected, kind of a weird step out when you do throw 2 overstable and maybe get a pinch in here, but it's going to go to this overstable approach disc.
Just leaving it a little short.
Definitely within his range. I mean,
Oh,
getting
no
inside
doubt.
the circle is all you're asking for. I mean, these are some of the best putters in the world. Definitely in Europe, we're seeing this round consistently. Samuel from just a little bit closer.
Oh, yeah. And he knows that's good. And that'll be another birdie for him.
3 in a row. Great way to start off the back 9. I mean, with that distance, if that doesn't hook up, like, he does have, fine from out of bounds, but if that did hook up, I mean, he's looking at an eagle look.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I'll have the tap in par. Going to be losing a stroke to probably most of the card other than R2, but great birdie there from Lauri. Oh,
And it kicks out left.
Good,
Oh, my
confident
gosh.
putt, but maybe just a little bit high left. Like we've talked about it so much, these Prodigy baskets want you to hit hard, on angle, at the center, and that was just a tiny bit off the pole, punching out left. After such a great recovery shot, too.
It's unfortunate for him. And Samuel continuing that birdie streak. 6 down.
Yep, getting hot. Frustrating bogey there, but, I mean, it's one of those ones he had a great recovery shot, like we said, but...
There's nothing you can really do about that one.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you get away with, maybe a good recovery, but then the course is like, hey, by the way, you did go out of bounds. You did maybe not have a great tee shot. Let's put your humility in check. But same time, nothing to be frustrated about. Continue on in this back 9 and moving into hole 13, par 3, 276 feet as we enter back into the woods. Very tight gap here. Going to be working your way up. So we see a nice little heel click from our guy knowing the drone's on him. Going to be fading left. Pretty simple stock shot, maybe an overstable approach disc, maybe discing up to a mid-range, but really just trying to get close and avoid those trees early. So if you hit early, it's going to be really tough to navigate.
This looks really clean. Just catching the last tree, but, I mean, he's still inside circle 1.
Yeah, and the way he's been putting, that should be a no-brainer.
Yeah, just on the left side. He might have a look if he steps out.
Yeah, it's the risk you can do. I mean, all these holes we're going to see under this 300-foot mark is pushing long, and then you're kind of in an interesting spot. It's a really good kick forwards, but going to be a long putt for
That could
Rokkanen.
have definitely hurt him really bad with a fast disc like that.
Mm-hmm. Similar speed disc in the hand here for Arttu. Hits really early.
You think setting up on that far left side when he releases kind of offset his, when he released it, kind of where it was going?
Yeah, I mean, he does have that really wide last step. So, but I mean, that's something that he's practiced for many years,
True.
I know, and it's something he's leaned on, and he adjusts the disc selection as he hits late
Another
again.
tree.
And like I said, I mean, sub 300-foot hole, but if you get off early, it's hard to navigate how many trees, and this is going to continue for many holes. I mean, with 5
That's
to play.
definitely not over.
Yeah.
And jump putt range. Making a no-brainer par putt for Luukas.
And Arttu will have that left for the bogey. Samuel to go 4 in a row.
Keep this up. He's going to be making some moves for sure, setting the tone for round 1.
Yeah, with 5 holes left, you know, we said in the preview here we were expecting maybe that -10, -11, 12, and he's definitely on pace to reach it. Ooh, sneaking over, getting a birdie. And after the double bogey start, after those brutal rollaways, Laude has really turned it around, you know, made that decision in the brain to be able to continue and push, and 3 in a row.
See Luukas coming here and trying to catch back up to Lauri and push into that top 10 for the first round. Definitely got some more holes. And we know he can make his putts.
Yeah.
We've seen it before. Make those distance putts.
Yeah, and Arttu just fighting the course, maybe fighting himself a little bit, just trying to get closer, back down to par, set himself up for the rest of these 2 rounds. Let's go into hole 14.
Par 3, 249 feet. Another one under 300 foot, but you have this gap to get in between with a putter, maybe a forehand, and just skip up here close to the green and settle. Don't want to end up to the right. It'll be a little bit guarded and downhill.
Yeah, and it's those 3 trees we're looking at right here that can bring some trouble, and with how much angle there is, you hit one of those 3 trees, it's guardians, definitely going to see some rolls.
And you got a Mando right there on the right. Just going to have to turn.
Catching early.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the forehand's a better option.
Yeah,
Just
maybe
opens
going
it up just a little bit.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, not necessarily a super overstable disc, as we've seen Lehtinen rip on this backhand, but something that's going to flip up a little bit. Flips up too much for him, though. But I like that selection. You know, it's a little bit of an understable disc, flip up, ride straight and fade, not needing to really flex something out of your hand, be really overstable. Discing down to the understable putter here.
That's really great. A little bit downhill, but still, I mean, circle's edge.
Yep.
For a birdie.
Arttu looking to match. Just early.
His timing just maybe a little bit off.
Yeah, I mean, he's ripping into it and a lot of torque coming out of him.
Definitely.
But just like I said, just a tiny bit off. And these brutal kicks in the woods, thick Finnish forest. What a great recovery shot there from Räsänen.
No doubt. Sneaking through those back into those trees. Another great approach. Samuel.
This birdie streak does come to an end. Still putting together a great one. Laude having to navigate a lot.
Go around the backside.
What a crafty little shot that was on it. Anheuser the whole way to check up.
Great birdie look. Able to commit to that.
Yep, and tying it up with Lehtinen.
It's a good par save there. You can definitely get a higher number like you can see from Arttu.
Yeah, and a lot of these holes, unless you have a really bad kick, these sub 300, it's pretty hard to get more than a bogey. But again, we saw so many different ways to, reciprocate a bad shot, getting back onto the green. Forehand flex, step out backhand. So many ways you really have to get creative to approach when you're off by just a little bit as we go into hole 15, par 3, 226 feet, another technical hole. This one dog-legging left, very, very short. One of the shortest holes they play on this tour, but you can see if you push too far, maybe a little bit too much speed, you're going to go very far down the hill on the back left side of the basket.
Get a good skip. Right next to the basket.
Perfection. A little higher.
Still works out.
Yeah, and the height,
Inside
maybe
circle.
controlling that speed a little bit more too, letting it really just like slap the ground and not go any far distance after it hits.
It's inside route for Lauri. I mean, he's able to get out. So he's going to have circle 3 putt.
The new stat, circle 3.
Yeah.
Circle 3 might be almost back to the tee pad with the distance of this hole. But yeah, I didn't mention it in the preview, but definitely going to be needing to stay right, that mandatory tree. Catching early again with a crazy roll backwards as well. You're pretty blocked off on the approach. He does cut not too far, so I have a straight look at it.
And not trying to give it too much, just scoot on up to the basket.
Pretty lengthy putt here. And yeah, there you go.
I think he was mentally checking in with himself if he was like, do I go for this or do I lay up?
Kind of the in-between. He's going to have this comebacker for similar distance, if not further.
Sit. You see the frustration.
Yeah, really setting in. He's had a pretty good streak going here, but can be picking up a bogey.
Just sneaking over. Oh my gosh.
It's
You
those
see-
ones, yeah. You look back and
You're
you're
like, oh, okay, thanks. Woo.
no worries there. For Rokkanen, clean back 9 so far for him, jumping back into the top 10. And Lauri just a little bit off.
So we get to hole 16, par 3, 361 feet, all uphill. Gonna want to really just throw a straight shot and land up on the top of this pedestal that this basket sits in. But you gotta be careful about going long. You got the OB right behind it on circle's edge.
See the umbrellas start to come out. Maybe a little bit of sprinkling coming. Yeah, with how uphill this is,
It's a lot
Ooh.
of turn.
you heard the foot slip and maybe just pulled over on it a little too much. That's going to be an interesting spot there for Rokkanen.
It's not out of bounds.
Yeah, and our players go into more of an understable disc, knowing they need to climb this hill, which is a good play. I mean, it lets it, kind of turn over and continue forwards, but maybe a little bit of wind coming over the top of the hill they don't know about. Let's see if R2 can correct off that. Definitely a more overstable
This
disc.
looks great. Get up that hill.
What a shot. Yeah, chasing down, finally getting a birdie look for his first time in 6 holes. Really good height here.
Just looking at this straight to hyzer from Lauri.
Yeah, really showing the distance, not having to go to that understable disc, able to play more of a flip up and just carry. Hänninen just trying to really put it close. He's got a great round going, no reason to try to be a little too aggressive here. I stand corrected, that was nearly in.
I don't know if that was his initial thought, but I think his half bid just happened to be super, super close.
His half bid was better than most people's full bid and a half. That was incredible. Just great nose up, just all the way climbing the hill. Rocking in from a similar distance. Full bid here.
Yeah, that just had to fall down at the right time.
Yeah, with how thick the grass is, roll away, not coming in too much, but loudly able to correct here after a couple tough holes. Great birdie here on 16. High right, but it sticks.
Another good birdie. That'll give him some confidence going into this last couple holes.
Yeah, if he can birdie out, getting closer to that even par.
Good par cleanups.
You see Samuel there, even with the par, still tying for first. 2 holes to play. Let's go to hole 17, par 3, 256 feet. We go back into the woods. Tee pad sitting a little bit lower than that first hill, but you are almost eye level with the basket once you crest that. So uphill, again, you know, as we continue to climb, maybe going to more of an understable flip up putter, maybe even overhand, you know, if you have that in your arsenal to do. We see R2 goes to the forehand.
That's rare.
Yeah.
Just because the gap that you have to hit and how far you got to push down that gap.
Almost ringing it up.
Yeah, that was very clear, very close.
Yeah, flex forehand actually may be the play. Brutal
That was
kick and
on
roll away.
The right side of that tree, it was getting a good kick left.
Yep. Here's the backhand putter play.
That tree kind of sounded hollow.
Yeah. Round 3, maybe crack into it. A little early on the turn.
What a kick.
Finds the...
Forward kick, fairway, maybe jump putt range?
Yeah, it's going to be very uphill.
Yeah.
Go to the forehand here from Hänninen. Yeah, and from the tee, this does shape more of a forehand, but... Oh. Okay, I was like, thankfully that hit, I was like, I had a lot of speed coming off that tree. And players going to the forehand knowing there's a lot more open space on the right side, they'll still have a clean look, but if you finish left, it gets really tight. Oh, just low and left. Long bid here for Lauri.
Almost gets it. And that would have put some confidence back in his play, for sure.
The opposite is evident there as the shoulders just feeling heavy and
just drop.
We're just wanting something to fall. But a great bid in from that 60-foot range.
He's not playing bad. It's just
not at all.
Unforced errors here and there.
And Hänninen, no unforced errors here so far on the back 9.
With 1 to go.
Yep. 18, definitely a birdieable hole. Good confident putt there from Räsänen.
This hole is playing at 2.72.
Yep.
So
most of
just
these par
under
threes,
pars.
yeah, I feel like they're
Yeah.
going to be playing just a little bit under par. Great putt there from Lehtinen. To move into the final hole here on round 1.
It's exciting. I mean, hole 18, par 4, 492 feet, and having to get out
Double Mando.
is key. And you've got OB straight off the gap. If you go 2 straight, you're going OB. So I think you're going to see more of the forehand to put you in a good spot to lay up and have a good birdie look and a safe birdie look.
Yeah, and the position of that tee, I mean, maybe even if you really need it, going to a very fast disc on a forehand, maybe even running this green, being that it is a little bit downhill, going to the full speed driver, but it's an interesting tee shot for sure. This looks like it might have too much turn.
It does.
Big skip?
Nope.
No. I wonder if maybe even we're going to see some backhands, just throwing a short backhand, setting up. But the forehand really looking like it's the shape here. It's surprising to see such a fast disc in the hand, knowing that out of bounds is right there in play if you push too long. It's a good kick, I think.
And what was that skip?
Off a pine cone to still
To
find the out of
OB.
bounds.
Good Lord.
Was that a pine cone he hit or a
I
rock or
have
something? That was
no idea, but
just Sonic the Hedgehog.
and this is
sped
what
up.
you need to do is the correction.
Yep. This is a slower speed disc.
Like I said, that OB is straight there, so you got to make sure that is a hyzer forehand.
Yeah.
Almost sawing it off.
And you're kind of the shape of this hole is kind of you're starting a little bit low, working your way uphill, and then finishing downhill. So being able to crest that hill but not push too far, it's a very weird depth perception. Sits down.
That's a good correction right there.
Yeah. Aggressive second shot here from Arttu. And he's rewarded. Be able to save the par if he can put that one in. With, I mean, a par 4 being sub 500 feet, difficulty really being in that controlled first shot.
Great approach from Luukas.
Yeah, and he's leaned on the A3, forehand, backhand. I mean, any shaping shot, really deadly when that disc is in his hand.
And another great approach from Samuel.
Lauri going to that justice, I believe. Putting it so close to finish out the round with a stress-free birdie. He does have so much torque on that putt, and we talked about it. Man, that's a brutal way to end it. That's one you sit in
That's
the
a
car
gut wrencher.
afterwards, yeah, and you're just like, really? Like after putting
that,
it
come
together.
on, man.
And that would have brought him, staying at that plus one.
That
but
would have been the even.
no, he went out of bounds off the tee.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Luukas finishes out -5,
And
almost coming out as well.
Not worried about it. And Samuel at -9.
Great round. Lauri maybe having some difficulty there, mental struggles, but didn't play too bad through the middle
I
there.
mean, look
but
at the distance. 4 strokes between Samuel and Luukas, and look at where they're placed. 10 places.
yeah, there's a lot of players tied, I'm sure. As we check in with our cards leaderboard here. Luukas very, very clean after those bogeys early, but consistency from Hänninen. That one bogey on 5, and he just pedal to the metal continued. But -10, the hot round. Niklas
Double digit.
Antila, man, putting on a show. Juna Hänninen also at -9. Samuel -9.
And Tuomas.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a 4-way tie.
yep, for that -7. A lot of -6s. Familiar faces across the top 10 leaderboard. And it's going to be exciting to see, maybe if the weather comes in. But this course, so different. Front 9 to the back 9.
Each of these courses are their own. They don't look and play the same.
Yeah, if you're coming out
all.
at the top of these tour points, you really are a full, well-rounded player.
Oh, no doubt. Like, for sure, just you can scramble. You can do every kind of shot that you are needed on a tour as being a professional.
Yeah, and it's necessary, and I love to see it. It is a true tour. I mean, it makes it almost feel like, in the World Championships this past year, 2021 in America, I mean, you had these courses were drastically different. So you coming on top with James Conrad, I mean, we
had so many different players win.
Right. It was this back and forth switch
between both.
Round. Right.
MPO and FPO.
Yeah. We're seeing some great shots here from Hänninen and some highlights. Just really got the putter going. Just never a doubt for him.
No, if he can continue that, he's going to be at the top. For sure.
For sure. We're going to see him on the next round. We will see you all very soon for the round 2 front 9 here in Kuopio. My name is Mitch Phillips.
And I'm Hayden Riccard.
We'll see you for round 2.